Why are American politics so polarizing now? Well, from a Christian perspective, I would say one of the key issues is confirmation bias. Now, what is confirmation bias? It means that you take a position and you look for the evidence that backs up that position. And evidence possibly contrary to that position that you've taken or that your group has taken, in which you find your identity, you don't really see it or you downplay it. You hear a lot in politics today, well, what if it was the other side who did this? And then how would you feel about things is that life is not fair as much because we have confirmation bias. We are looking to justify our positions. Now, the evidence would suggest it has more to do with us needing to be right than it does about an actual position. We can work in our minds about why we're right, and there are people who will help us with that by giving us the affirmation that we're looking for, but confirmation bias can really divide us. You know, Jesus talks to someone who says, ask him, well, what do I need to do to come into the kingdom of heaven? And the guy answers, you got to love God and you got to love other people, love your neighbors, yourself. And then he turns around and Jesus says, you answered right. He turns around and says, well, wait a minute, who's my neighbor? You know, he's looking for an out. He's looking for something to justify himself by eliminating certain people in his life that he doesn't have to love and doesn't have to care about. To an extent, that is confirmation bias. Confirmation bias would be better off in our life if we didn't have it, but rather we looked for challenge. We looked for weaknesses in our positions. The gospel can help us do this. God loves us. He forgives us. We don't need to justify ourselves. We've already been justified. And now we can let go of the need to be right, the need to look for confirmation that shows that we're right, and learn to listen to other people through God's love in our life that frees us from our needs to be right. Hey, if this video has been helpful for you, I'd like to receive more for the curious. You can press like, subscribe, and follow. If this issue on polarization and confirmation bias from a Christian perspective could help some of your friends on your friends list, feel free to share it. We'd appreciate that. But in any case, as we say, salam alaikum, la paz de Dios en tu viaje. Hey, God's peace be with you on your journey.